Welcome back to the channel. This is Simon Cromer and welcome to part number 7 on this 1% detail on this Chris Craft Catalina. So today we're going to be working on the hardtop. We're going to be doing a buff, a polish. We're going to polish the non-skid here on the top, and then we're going to be ceramic coating. So this is what this section of this part of the video is going to look like. So right now we have Starke level R, we have an applicator, we have our DeWalt rotary. All we're going to do is buff all of the smooth on the top of the hard top, and we're not going to wipe off or anything because we're going to run a polish right afterwards. So it's a pretty straightforward process, but let's get to it. I'm going to show you guys how we're doing it. This part is smooth all around the outside, and then we have a little bit on the interior going around, but that's about it. Everything else is non-skid, so this will just get a one-step polish. This is going to get a compounded polish, all the smooth, and then we're going to prep and do ceramic. So this is what we got going on. So let's go ahead and start buffing. We're going to put some compound here on the smooth. And that's about it. Like I said, we're not going to wipe off because I'm going to come right after this. I'm going to come around with the polish. We got our DeWalt rotary. Going to start at around, today we're going to start around 1400, finish it out around 2000, 2200. So let's go. And just like that, that's how you do the buffing. I'll see you in the next part for polishing. We just finished the buffing, so this is what it looks like. So just this outer piece and then this center piece that goes around here, this is all smooth, and everything else is going to be non-skid. So we finished that. Now we're gonna go to the flex. We have Starke Elevate, we have the Orange Lake Country pad. We are gonna wipe off this time. So let's get to it. Just a little bit of Elevate. Gonna put this down. All right, here we go. Gonna run on about 5. Alright, so this polishing process is going to give us extra shine, and it's going to take out extra scratches. So if you remember, we did do a wet sand on all the gel coat here on the top side, so running this polish with this pad is going to remove more scratches, and therefore that's going to enhance the shine. There's two things that reduce your shine on your boat, on your gel coat, on your paint. It's oxidation and it's scratches. So if we can eliminate both of those, we're gonna have a great surface. All right, round number 2. For this machine, it is good to apply a decent amount of pressure. It's going to help you take out more scratches, give you a better shine. Alright, doing the wipe off. And that's going to be how we do it. So I'm going to finish out the rest of this smooth, and then we're going to jump to the non-skid, and then we'll talk about ceramic coating. Now we're going to be prepping the non-skid. We have Starke Elevate, we have an applicator, and then we have the foamed wool pad. This is the purple foamed wool Lake Country pad and the Flex 3401 VRG. And you guys may have seen this process in the past. I have a couple videos on this, but all we pretty much do for this is, you got to remember that this is oxidized. The hardtop gets oxidized fast, and you might think, oh, I can just coat the non-skid, but this is a 3-year-old boat. It's been sitting in the sun for 3 years. This is oxidized just as the smooth was, so we have to prep this correctly, because if we don't, we could either turn this yellow as we're coating the ceramic, or it's just simply not going to hold up as long. So we want to make sure we get a fresh, clean, oxidation free surface before we do any ceramic or any protection. So let's go. So you're going to notice you will use a decent amount of Elevate during this process, but nothing crazy. All right, so we're gonna do a section here, maybe 2 by 2 feet. All right, that looks pretty good. And we're gonna be running this on setting 5, so here we go. This really is the best pad to run on non-skid, because if you run a foam pad, you're gonna cut up the pad and you're gonna break it down, right? Because you have this non-skid, it's rough, it's got little spikes, and you can't really do the foam pad on non-skid. But also you have the wool pad, right? And this type of non-skid, this is the spray on, this is the flatter kind. It just doesn't really make sense to run it, whether you're running the pad sideways or whether that's running vertical or horizontal. It just doesn't really make sense, and you know, you might damage the non-skid doing it that way. You might wear down these little spikes, the non-slip part. So this really is the best pad. It's a combination of a wool and a foam, and it gets down into these little cracks. It gets between these little spikes, and like I said, this is just spray on non-skid, so it's really pretty smooth. So in my opinion, this, even on the diamond, you're right, your diamond, your more pointy non-skid, this pad overall is the best pad for non-skid. So just want to make that quick tip. But there's this section that we did. Let's do a quick wipe off. You don't really need to wipe a whole lot off, but just a quick wipe to say we're good. And there you go. So I can already see a color difference, from here to here. Let's continue. The sun's not, it's kind of in and out today, so sometimes it's hard to get a good angle on what I'm working on. It might just look all the same. All right, let's continue. Alright, just like that, we're good. We're gonna do a quick wipe off. Alright, let's continue next section. You can clean this pad if you want and just get a little spur or a little brush. Keep the spikes up so it keeps cutting. You don't want this to wear down and lay flat, so just keep it spiked up. Alright, our final wipe. Alright, and we're just going to continue this process on the rest of the hardtop. I will see you in the next part of the video. We have our zero post correction cleanser, which is our alcohol spray. So we're going to prep everything up here. We're going to clean everything, so that does include the non-skid. And then we're going to come back. We have DNX, which is going to go on the smooth. 2 coats, because this is the hardtop. It does get more sun. And then we're going to lay down Infinex on the non-skid. So Infinex will get laid down. It will not come off. That is an 85% solids coating. DNX, closer to 65. And that's what we got going. So let's go ahead and do our prep spray. Just need a little bit. That side is done. All right, the right side's done, the left side's done. Now we're gonna come through the middle. So we have DNX, which is the 65% coating, solids coating. This is gonna go on all the smooth. We are doing 2 coats up here. Now the nice thing with this product is you can do your first coat You know, and then you can come right back over with your second coat. So you don't have to wait an hour, you don't have to wait 2 hours. It's pretty much, you know, you just gotta wait a couple of minutes and you're good to go. So what we'll do is we'll do one section, do a second section, go back to number 1, do number 3, back to number 2, number 4, back to 3. So we're gonna crisscross back and forth, and we're gonna just do all the smooths. So pretty simple. Let's get to it. We got our 2 towels, our plush wipe off, and our smooth side for the final finish. Turn on the back. I'm gonna prime this real quick. Not much, because there is no lid on this, or this bottle is basically full open, so gotta be careful. All right, so it's gonna go on like this. All right, so it's on. We can now wipe off. We got pretty good heat today, pretty good temperature. So we're gonna wanna make sure we wipe this off rather quickly, or it might not come off. Towel number 1 is finished. Here's towel number 2. Just like that, we're good. Next section. All right, we're all good. Gonna wipe off. Fold this into 4s for easier wipe off. And then you got 8 different sides of your towel. So keep them clean and rotate them as needed. I love this towel for wipe off. Super nice. They are a little expensive, but I'm telling you, the Adams Plush Microfiber Ultra Plush, best towel there is. All right, and then like I was saying, we did the second section. Now we're gonna jump back to number 1. We'll do number 3, jump back to number 2, and do our two coatings. So let's get to it. I apologize guys, the camera died on me, but we're back. We actually finished all the smooth. So now we have Infinex Marine. The only thing I did want to mention on the last part is when you're doing the second coat over top of the first coat, you're gonna notice it's not gonna absorb into the gel coat as much. So you're gonna actually use less product and it's gonna wipe off a little easier. So just a quick tip there. But now we're on to Infinex. This is the 85% solids coating. This is gonna go on the non-skid with no leveling, so we're not gonna be wiping off. It's just gonna sit on, and that's all. So here we go. Let's prime the pad. Do like 6 dots or so. And here we go. We don't need to go in any particular motion, just make sure you get it on the non-skid. And we got good sunlight today, so we can see exactly what we're doing. So this is perfect. Just want to make sure that you cover all of the non-skid. So just be careful, make sure you're paying attention. Don't want to miss any parts. Now, when you're working in Florida or, you know, just simply in the summer, you want to be careful because now today it's not supposed to rain, but you want to make sure that, you know, if there's a chance of rain, that you have 3 or 4 hours at least for this coating to dry in the sun, preferably in hot temperature. You know, obviously things aren't perfect, and when you're working outside you can't control everything, but it's really not okay when, you know, you just finished a coating and then, you know, 10 minutes later it starts raining. So make sure you plan ahead, make sure you prepare for the weather, and make sure you get a few hours of drying time in case it does rain. I mean, ideally, obviously you want 24 hours ideally, but it's not always going to happen, so just something to keep in mind. I mean, here where we're at in Florida, it rains almost every day, not always, but usually. So it'd be almost impossible to coat boats if we didn't you know, have that in mind. But with the heat and humidity here, you know, 3 or 4 hours is a pretty good dry time in the sun for this to cure enough to where it can get water on it, where you're not going to jeopardize the coating too much. Now I am going to finish the rest of this out, but I am going to end the video here. You know, obviously if you're using a different product, same process, but I hope you guys were able to get some insight. I've never shared anything about doing the hardtop, so I hope this video was helpful. If it was, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts, leave a like, be sure to share this video with other people, and guys, I will see you on the next part of this project. Peace out.